What are the actual aspirations for Manchester United this season? Is it just going to be a write-off?
To stay up at the moment, to not get relegated.
OK, well, there have been teams that have been relegated with more points at this stage of the season than United currently have.
Yeah, I think it's just, I mean, he changes the team so often. He makes substitutions sort of really early in games, earlier than most managers I've ever known. You know, United have never played the three at the back, and now he's asking people to play that. I think there's a thought process that they have to go through in games that makes them, you know, that half a split second slower than everyone else, because people are just checking where they are and where teammates are, and there is a real lack of confidence at the moment that you can see. So it's just a matter of building through it. I think Carlton's mentioned it before, and Gary, that the basics have to be done well, and they're not being done well at the moment. There's a bit of trouble going on with Rashford. Is Rashford going to go? Is he going to stay? He's a big character in the dressing room. So yeah, there's still trouble ahead, and again, like Gary mentioned, they've got a couple of tough games coming up that can I mean, they can go to Liverpool and get absolutely tatered.
But players have to take responsibility. I'm looking at that game, Gil, and I'm saying you brought a young kid on, Mainu, and he's tried to galvanise you. Well, he did galvanise them. You know, and I'm looking at the senior players, Eriksen, Casemiro. I'm looking at those players, Harry Maguire, you know, and I'm saying, come on, you know, you've got Martinez, come on, you know, and you've got a young kid who's come on, who's, well, he tried to change the course of the game. They were actually better when he came on. OK,
let me ask this question, but I'm going to preface it with a few things. Firstly, he hasn't had much time on the training ground with his players. I think his first game was right at the end of November, around the 27th, against Ipswich. They've had a lot of matches since then. And we just came back from pitch side. So our producer was there, Michelle Lee was there, and Alison Bender, another reporter, was there as well. And their feedback was, watching it up close, is Amorim is being forced to coach during the game more than any other manager in the Premier League. He has to be so vocal because the players just don't have enough time on the training park with him right now. Do you think it could change down the line once they buy into the system, once they fully grasp it? They were practicing defending corners
before the game,
before the game, which is pretty much unheard of.
Which, you know, normally you work through all your set plays defensively and attacking minded the day before, sometimes 2 days before a game, not 15 minutes before kickoff. Yeah, mate, of course, it should get better when he spends more time on the coaching part. You know, Amorim, I think, was really reluctant to come into the club United at the time he did. He didn't really want to come into the club partway through the season, but sometimes you only get one chance for this type of opportunity, so he decided to take it. But, you know, the point that Lee made a moment ago is that, you know, players are not doing things instinctively because they are suddenly having to play in a different position, play in a slightly different way. So, you know, that split second to think about something and then do it in the Premier League, you're too late, you're behind. Hence the reason Newcastle are sharper.
Yeah, and I also think a lot of them are not good enough.
Yeah, that's bottom line.
That's the bottom line. I mean, you can go through the team.
Go on in, do it.
Well, you know, if you're looking at who's not good enough,
goalkeeper,
or haven't been good enough, I don't think the goalkeeper has been. I don't think Martinez is at times. I don't think De Ligt has been. Maguire, I still quite like Maguire, whatever he's been through. Mazraoui, I think he's decent. Delo, I'm still like 50, that about.
50.
Yeah, 50-50. Eriksen and Casemiro probably can't get around the pitch enough to compete with the likes of Joe Linton, Tonali and Gomes. Ahmed is looking good. Zirkzee still trying to find his feet and still trying to find the rhythm of the Premier League. I think he's not quite got up to speed with it. Hoyland, young lad, still probably not ready for the position he's playing.
Bruno Fernandes, I know he's not involved today.
I've always been a bit like this with Bruno. I think he gives the ball away cheaply.
Ugarte, who's also suspended for today's game.
I think he's decent. I think at least he's got legs and he gets stuck in and he'll run around and cause a few problems and help the back three out. But, you know, that's...
So they're carrying too many passengers.
They're carrying way too many passengers.
Way too.
You know, Anthony's just come on. I don't think he's worked out. Rashford, we've seen has struggled. It's tough when you're trying to change a whole formation and a whole philosophy of the football club, and the players are just not good enough anyway.
Can they be coached to be better?
Yeah, you can always be coached to be better, but can you be good enough to be a Manchester United player? That's the problem.